Okay. So let's kind of recap what we've been about. So we're in this data analysis phase. We've built up the pivot chart. The pivot chart was kind of convenient for us. One thing we've done is we've gone from the census where we have everybody, and we've bifurcated into males and the females. Mm-hmm. And that begins to pay us back during the data analysis phase when we're counting the total male employees. It's something that we have to do at some point. So the count A becomes the way that we do that. We're just going over that. Now, we could utilize the count if here, so long as we supply, if you were to go to census, comma, males under the B column, and therefore the count if would count everybody who's a male. And I think that is very similar to what we do down here in the average salary by occupation, where we're kind of, and I've clicked inside of this cell right here. I don't know if you can see that in the video. I'm just in the stocking associate. But it's kind of going count if and then measure, go to the F column on the males sheet, and then grab all the values, or count all the values rather, where a stocking associate is present.
Okay.
And so go ahead and count if the cell meets the criterion A, males table, F, B, F column, C, stocking associate.
How do you get that count if?
Oh, good question. Okay, so what you're going to do is any given place, you're going to click in there, you're going to equals. And whatever formula you're going to put in, it's going to happen after the equals. So when you're pressing the equals, you're forcing Excel to evaluate. And so whether it's uppercase or not, count if, and then the parentheses opens up the criteria phase. Mm-hmm. So from here, we're actually going to navigate over to whatever sheet interests you. So you realize that the formula bar gives you the chance to go somewhere else.
Okay.
You could have 20,000 sheets here. You could navigate out of that sheet into whatever other sheet. Mm-hmm. And then let's say you want to count within the B column, for example, where the criterion is male. And so you don't need to put equals or anything. You just need to type in the word that you're searching for.
I see. So if I were to just copy that into my bar right here, would
give that a try.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't do anything. The only thing I need to do to finish this is so let's go count if. And then I don't like to type this kind of stuff. I can't remember the syntax.
Okay.
So the best thing is the scariest thing for you to do would be to go ahead and navigate over to the census table. Go ahead and do that. And, it's not quite giving you what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. So let's go over to the data analysis. And that looks interesting. And because you've started to type census, because you begin to emulate my...
Yeah.
What I don't want you to do is type this. I don't remember that syntax, so you shouldn't either. What I do remember is you're going to navigate, go ahead and press on the census.
Okay.
And now that's what I want you to start doing. Now you can see your formula. You're continuing to build the formula in the formula bar.
I see. Okay. So.
And if you type on now, you're in the census. It will give you all this gobbledygook if you click on the B column.
Okay, if I were to click on the B column.
Choose your column. Now you've got all that coding that you shouldn't be memorizing.
Exactly. And then the same with if you were to do the males.
Same thing with the females. And so here's the deal. A lot of students have emailed me, nice people who are not Wham Wham Snowflakes, they've emailed me and they've said, okay, well, I've typed your code, Mr. Mother, it doesn't work. And I guess the reason why it doesn't work is because they might have a different sheet. Their mail sheet doesn't say mails, it says something else.
I see.
And if they don't have the same name for the sheet, then this code will fail because it needs the specific name of the sheet. So next you're going to go comma, and then inside of quotes, you're going to put in the criterion you're looking for.
Which is now female.
Yeah, we're just practicing.
Male, actually.
If you put in male, it will search for male. If you put in female, it will search for female.
Now, would I type that or would I click on the range how I did here?
You can click one of the
males.
You can click one of the female fields and see what it does. And honestly, that's not quite what we're looking for. I think that range.
Oh wait, I think I clicked on both. That was probably why.
I would just go ahead and give us that column.
No, still not.
And there might be some Excel gurus out there who know an alternative to what I'm doing, but this happens to be what I'm teaching everybody today.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the age of Excel. You're dealing with a program that's the better part of 40 years old. There's been 40 years of, it's not quite as old as I am, but I have learned things about life and so has Excel. And there's plenty of ways to do what I'm teaching.
I see, okay.
But I just want you to do some bedrock peanut butter and jelly moves here.
Okay.
And then that will be good for today.
Okay.
So
good. I just
census,
wasn't sure why I was getting this.
Yeah, that's good. Let's erase. And let's back over that stuff too. Let's go all the way. Now, what's interesting is check this out.
No, why am I? Oh, right over here.
The specificity of your command begins with your syntax, i.e. typing it in the way it expects it. So that parentheses is where you begin to supply your range. So it's after this that you can click your column. Good, you've got it. And then, yeah. And now here's what's interesting. Yeah, census, great. And so after that, it expects a comma.
Okay, got the comma.
Mm-hmm. And then from there, we're going to go quote male.
Quote, like that?
Yep.
Okay.
And then big M for...
Big M.
And the reason why it's big M or big F for female would be because that's how the word appears within the fields. It's a category. It's a category.
Okay.
So we'll go like this, male. And in this case, there's not a range. There's only two values. It's a binary. It's one or the other. Okay. So given that, it's simple to make a match. Luckily, your data is purely categorical. There's only so many combinations. And then from here, you're going to go to return. So if you press return, yep, good.
Right, return.
Good. And it throws you back to where you came from.
Got it.
And you have your populated field. And that should give you give you what you're looking for.
I see. And so all this.
And I think that's the same as I did right there.
Now, was that all manually done? The whole data analysis sheet, the salary, that was all manually?
Well, it was manually done to the extent that these formula were entered in by hand. Now, I typed this out as well, total male employees. I also I merged that field, and these fields were probably merged to a certain extent. It was at a merged field. And this is a merged field, so I took this field, and it used to be 3 or 4 wide, but I merged them using the merge button right here. Okay. And that's what allows that kind of neat formatting, that official looking formatting.
Okay.
That's going to help the graders. I'm going to tell the graders not to look at people's specific numeric results. And usually people are off by 1 or 2 here and there, and they get concerned about that. I'm going to tell them, the graders, to ignore that
Just the format is kind of what you're looking
We're
for.
more interested in use of formula at this point. And if you're using count A to manage, to count the non-empty cells, that's good. For here, we're doing a count ifs, and I mean for people to stop and start this video so they can emulate these formulas instead of me walking through every formula.
Okay.
That formula is to be used throughout. These are count ifs right here with the multiple criterion. Same thing, the female sheet, G column, less than, or rather greater than and less than. And percentage is a simple ratio of total male within that category to total male in general.
Okay.
So that's going to be a simple, numerator denominator. And then we'll format these as percentage, which is a little bit of a change.
Okay.
The numbers will be quite small, be less than 1, be 0.52, but we'll percentage it, which is to take the ratio times 100. And that creates an integer, and then it lays down the percent. So I'm just kind of whipping through these so that you can go ahead and put them into yours.
Exactly.
Now, count if is count all the fields in the male table in column F that go by the string stocking associate, and it does have to match. I have my original sheet, and I didn't uppercase stocking associate. It's undercase. So this one will match perfectly. Inventory receiving associate. Same with customer service rep and category manager. So when I go into my formula, those match perfectly. I would need to capitalize stocking associate, but I do so in my counting match. I do that for the females as well, so I change over to the females table. So I hope by now it's seemingly more predictable.
Yeah, no, it is. I just have to, now I know at least how to write the formula in, and from there I can easily make that chart. So now that I have that information, that's good. I should be able to move forward from there, honestly.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the person who designed the experiment wanted for there to be all sorts of required opportunities to write these formulas. So it just gets you very used to it.
Okay.
So I'll finish up. I'll give you the last two formulas. Average salary comes from the pivot chart. So what we're doing is we're not really writing a formula. We're just linking to a reference. So recommendation row, column C, row 306, that's all the way over here. So C360, that's way down in the male column.
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is we're just saying, hey, we've already calculated the average salary, so let's link to it and give it to you specifically for that that occupation and that gender. And this is what a pivot chart does. It's just a multi-dimensional query where it says, find something that meets maybe two criterion, i.e. male gender, and then a salary range, and then go ahead and apply a statistical aggregation of the results that meet those criterion.
Okay.
So it's a 3 or 4 part piece of algebra.
Got it.
That you can depend on Pivot for, which is really super valuable.
Okay.
Pivot table. So that goes that way for males, and then females are the same formula, but column B. And I would like to give people the specific lines because it's good that you know how to do that, but there's limits 306, B306, C307, B307, C292, B292.
When it comes to making this, do you, what's it called? do you care about just having the information in, or do you want to see like the color coding and all that in there too? I mean,
I think first the information is what matters, and then from a personal standpoint, this is for your professionalism. That's very easy for you to add a tint to the background.
Okay.
And the little paint bucket describes the background.
Okay.
And then the color of the letters is the font color.
Got it.
So it has that nice finished feel to it. That's 292, and then this is row 111.
Okay.
Column C and then column B for the women throughout.
Sounds good. Well, I mean, yeah, that makes it a lot more clear, honestly. I mean, I should be able to go from there.
Okay, there's one more piece, and then you're done,
Okay.
and you can go and do it. Then the 10 highest paid positions is very easy, and what I did is the pivot. To recall that the pivot chart includes all of the salaries, so that are aggregated by gender. Female and male. So the average salary by gender is critical to our analysis. So in the data analysis page, we're going to say, well, let's take the top 10 highest paid people. Was there bias here? We'll let you, this is your question, which is how evenly do the top paid positions look gender-wise? And so, they all went to these are the female directors. They were all the highest paid. And then the guys, they ceiling out around 185, And so what I did is I just copied over the top 10 entries here, copy. I go Control C. And then I drop that into the bottom here. And then I begin the formatting process. So I copied it in, and then
it was right over here. You copied these first 10?
Yep. And I didn't do the grand total, but I did the male, female, and then the occupation.
The male.
Dimensions.
Male and female.
Good. 4 through 14. Yep.
4 through 10 or 4 through 14?
4 through 14.
4 through 14. And it's like
Control C?
It's Control C.
And when it's moving around the corners, or Command C, I think in Mac, and that's
okay.
That's selected those,
and
then you can
just anywhere.
Yep.
Drop them, and it's Control.
Command V on the Mac.
I never use these controls.
That's good. And now sometimes when people copy and paste, they see the rows look like this. If it's numeric, they look like this. And so if this is happening, just go to the top
right here
and widen so the salary fits.
Okay. Oh, wait, no.
Good.
Oh, I see. Just keep on winding until it all shows. Maybe not like that.
There we are. And then you can just kind of work with these cells. What I did is I think I merged them. So these ended up being, about 3 cells wide on average. But I would click on these and I would click all 3 of the cells like this, and I'd kind of drag. I'm the king of dragging my mouse over things. Some people don't like that, but then I would merge them across. That builds a single unified.
You went under home and merge right here, merge across.
Right. And then the second step after that.
Nothing happened when I merged it. I don't believe anything happened when I merged it.
Yeah, I can see these are, well, you might not need to merge them. If you copy and paste it may just give you a single cell where everything's located.
Okay.
I probably merged these fields to make the occupation header. And that was probably merged because the ones up top were merged. So probably we could avoid the merging if we just began with this one column being extra wide. But I began merging things because I could tell that this was merged.
And so all that information, you basically just copied and pasted how you did this one. Like the salary comparison.
This one was all copy pasted, correct.
And all that. So I just need to go back and copy and paste, like, for example, the salary report and get those numbers on that one. And
no, the only one you copy and paste are the top 10 highest paid.
Just the top 10 highest.
And then that one will be fine because that's all finished. But these will require, you can't copy and paste any of these. These require the count.
Oh, the count
ifs and the count A's and the count ifs.
Okay.
And then the averages.
Got it. Okay. Sounds good. Well, at least I got here, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you know how we finish. And
Perfect.
so the next stage is to do graphing.
And that's on the recommendation tab. We're starting off there.
Yeah, I need to go back to our assignment sheet and figure out what charts they want us to make.
Okay.
In general, charting is very basic. So if we were to make a new sheet, and let's rename this as charting. To finish the assignment, we need to have graphs here. So let me get you the spirit of the graphs. Let's say we have sales, HR, IT, R&D, and let's say manufacturing. And let's say these are the costs that each of these departments entail. And let's say that's in the thousands. So let's say that's 1, 2, 3. And HR is less expensive. IT is a little bit more. R&D is very expensive. And then manufacturing is going to be also expensive. Let's make it a little less. And so Excel can really only graph two-dimensional data very easily. So we would grab these, and you can even do it this way. I believe that you can click on a cell now and insert a chart. And what it can do is, if you click on recommended charts, it will kind of automatically sense the kind of cubic organization and recommend different charts. I happen to like some of these. I was thinking bar chart might be good. Anytime we have a comparison, that's nice. These charts are looking good. If it's categorical data, then a pie is automatically built for that. So I'd maybe insert chart. So I want to encourage people to, here, let's go search for, or did recommendation 3 have the chart? Let's see. Yeah, there we are. And so within that, we can customize. So we can right click on it.
Yeah, and you got the chart by going where again?
Let me get the data. And so if you have data that's organized this way, Excel will love you for it. So you just need to click somewhere inside of that data frame, inside of those two columns. And now if you have a column between it, it might not like it. Try to get the columns right next door to each other.
Try to get them right next, okay.
So you can, yeah, notice you have a column between it. So you can click on the C column.
Oh, click on the C column.
And then right click on that C column.
Right click. I heard, is it just like that or something?
Yeah, I think so. And probably if you're in a
or just
Control Shift, that's good. You can just go Control Shift and then press the mouse pad.
Control Shift.
Yeah, Control Shift.
Control.
And do it with the two fingers right there. That's right. The two fingers right there. Yep. And press it while you're holding it down. Then you press on the mouse pad. Perfect. And that's how you, try it again.
All right. Just click on
First press those. And then press your mouse pad. That's how you right click on a mouse.
Got it. And then just
and
cut
then
it, or...
let's go delete columns. Perfect. It's a good skill.
Got it.
And that way I want you to feel like you can right click anywhere on anything, and then there's a second degree of optionality there.
Okay.
And so we grab that data set, and you can either grab it like this, or you can grab it like this, or you can just click in. They literally have it where you can just click in a cell, and there's enough AI or machine learning behind the scenes where it'll recommend. Now, if you know the kind of chart, then you can just click one of these and it will align. That's not the chart that I want, however. So I would go insert recommended charts, and it does really, really good job kind of getting you started with choosing a chart. And the automatic choices that it makes are game changer. So if you say insert chart, I'd like to control whether it creates another sheet or it just puts it into the current sheet. But I think you should expect that the chart will be on a second. We'll open up a brand new sheet. So you just need to know that your result, your data might be here in charting, but it's going to open up.
It's going to open up as recommendation too.
Yeah, it'll open up a brand new page
tab
for
you.
For
no reason, because it already populates recommendation too.
Yeah, it'll kind of, and you should rename it. So for example, recommendation, it created it as recommendation 4, but I'd like for that to say something, and I go Control A to overwrite this thing. So you can double click on that right there. There you go. Now go Control A when you're in.
Oh, when I'm in here, go Control A?
Yeah, here, do this. Sort of click outside of it. Here we go. Come on. There we go. And then go Control A. Go. Actually, if you're on a Mac, go Command A.
Command A.
That's great. And now you can delete it. So that Control A is a nice tool. You end up using it a lot. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go Control A, and then I'm going to name this final chart.
Final chart.
And the way to finish the assignment, I'm going to let you choose the data for the assignment and do this part. But I want to give you the ability to make the chart that you see fit. And it's not hard to do. It's just up to you to think about what two series of data are meaningful to me. And one series are the categories, and then the other series are the data associated with those categories. So I believe that there is a chart dialog where you can change some of the attributes within the chart. And so here we can change chart title. And so I think it's centered. We can make it above the chart. Also, we can, this opens up this dialog. And here we can change, again, Control A. And we could say, I like, department costs. Here, I'll show you one more time. What you're going to do is you go to your chart page and then go on up to select the chart. And then if you select the chart, it illuminates this chart dialog. Go ahead and press chart. And it brings you to a whole chart experience. That's great.
Okay.
And now what I did is, you see this little caret right here. I like to expand this. It's called the ribbon. And I remember when this first came out, a lot of us were like, we have to relearn this thing. But that was the better part 20 years ago. So by now we've all become accustomed to the ribbon. So you can move this ribbon up or down, but I think it creates a menu that doesn't need very much searching. And all the features that they plan to make available to you are visible here. Okay. So you click on, say, the chart title. And this is a big step up over the last couple of years of Excel, where it's going to change the dimensions of the, it's above the chart. I like that. I believe that it likes to give you a chance to edit it. So I invite you to kind of click on things.
Okay.
One thing you'll find is that just about everything you click on, you can amend the properties of that thing.
You typed it in right here through, oh, no.
That's good. So you kind of touch it, and then I kind of double click it. And
then
that gives you, the chance to write in a chart. It also, there's kind of three ways to do it. You can kind of touch on that, and then once you're in it, you can double click it, and then it gives you this nice kind of attribute browser on the side.
I can fix that by just going above chart. It's not centered anymore.
Right. You can kind of move this, and you can see it gives you the chance to kind of move it around when it has that. Sometimes if you select the chart, it will move the chart, but if you select the text element, then you can move that around.
Exactly. How do you only select the text?
I think that I have made the position of that title to be automatically above.
Yeah, it's showing.
So my chart title is kind of centered or above the chart. And now there is enough permutation here where, let me just say that you guys should not feel pressure to make your chart the same way as the assignment does.
Okay.
Any chart that you present to us, we will probably be able to work with it.
Okay.
It's more important to us to see that you've become invested with the project, that you are showing your results, and that you're choosing a modality, to display, to answer the question.
So, like, when it comes to just things not being like the information do you want to see all the information there, or like to get full points, or do you really just care about like you said, the modality and showing that you were able to work it in some way, or how were you kind of grading?
That's a good question. I do think that you need to answer the question and create the chart that was in the guide that we're looking for. Okay. But the colors, the way that it looks, that's going to be up to you.
Got it.
We don't need people over spending time beautifying charts. That's not as important.
I see.
What I do think is fun, though, is for you to choose little pieces of the chart, and if you select on a component of the chart, like the legend, if you double click on it, this cool chart dialog appears, and you can kind of customize it and make make it relevant to you. Mm-hmm. Title, and see how that changes. Maybe the font needs to be different, or just about anything involved inside the Office experience becomes available to you. These tools, they're built of the same digital materials. So anything you could do inside of PowerPoint, you can sort of do here.
Yeah.
Now here's something else is I believe that you can export this as you can copy it and paste it into a report or into a slide. I think, frankly, you can export that I think you can export that image as a GIF. And I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay.
In prior versions of this, you could click on it and then export it as an image. But, you can play with the formatting. To me, maybe exporting as an image isn't as important as just copying, you can make it, copying and putting it into a document. Alt text, it makes it friendly for visually impaired people, so they can click on it. It's incredible to see folks with screen readers work. I've had some students get A's in programming classes that are fairly, visual classes because they use their screen reader. And so, a person who's well versed in their screen reader can click around, can move their mouse and it will actually speak the words associated with this.
Got it.
And so that is incredibly helpful to people. And we're trying hard to, accommodate visually impaired people and, put the extra effort in. So that's cool. And that's the data series. And you already figured that one out. Data labels, that could be valuable. I like that. And label contains category name. Yeah, that's great. And maybe you indicate a percentage and legend key. Let's try that. No, you don't need that. And then I do believe that when it's finished, you can move some of these pieces. Nope, I'm not having success with that. Typically, you can drag these legend pieces out. I know there's some Excel wizards in there who are. But let me be honest. Deep customization of the chart is not that important. Okay. I've done the bare minimum, but this is a workable chart.
Okay.
And the truth of it is once you bring a visualization to a meeting, that's really a picture says 1,000 words.
Okay.
Data science, statistics, it comes down to some visualization. The better operators make charts.
Okay. I have a question that's related to just other projects too. So we do have I believe it's three more after this one.
I think, yeah.
There was individual assignment that you were going to assign. Does that, unless I read that wrong, I believe there was I could be, I'm probably getting my classes mixed. No individual assignment. It was just 3 other projects.
Right.
And then.
So we'll do this one, Excel.
Okay.
Then we'll do a cloud project next week where we'll put all your data into the cloud and get it ready, get it loaded into a database. The third project, we'll query a relational database in the cloud and kind of solve the MEL problem via relational database.
Okay.
Which should be fun. And then things will calm down a bit, and then we'll have, I think, an AI project where you work with an AI system to see what that's about.
Sounds good. Well, yeah, okay. Well, you gave me a lot of information to go forward, so that was very helpful. So
good.
I'll just try to, go from there and watch the videos again thoroughly.
Yes.
So